quite know more about that.
No.
How much time and effort will it take for someone to create a nonprofit?
Well, so the time and effort, it will be considerable. It really kind of does depend on the mission of what you're doing. There's the group that we met that repairs bicycles and takes bicycles in, repairs and fixes them, and gives them away to nonprofits that are doing working with children and that kind of thing. So it's and it was a couple that was starting this thing, and they didn't really realize what they were getting into, and it kind of consumed them pretty quick. They just thought it'd be a good idea, a neat idea, and they started doing it. Next thing they know, they were spending a lot of time on it. And then they had to figure out, okay, gosh, we got to start a 501c3. And there's an old African-American preacher that was famous, a guy named Tom Skinner, and I heard him preached a sermon one time to a group of us that were in the whole urban ministry world. And the title of his sermon was The Ministry versus the Monster. And he started talking about how, when we first get into this, we're really just kind of passionate and care about people and want to serve people. But then somebody walks in the door and says, hey, here's a check, and we want to support that, but I'm going to need a receipt for that. And then so you say, okay, I've got to figure out, I got to get a computer, because I got to generate a receipt, and then so you get that going, and next thing you know, there's more people giving, and then there's, well, we got to have a place to put the computer, and we got to have a place to have somebody that sits down and does the work, and we got to pay the light bill, and then we got to, and he starts talking about how that the thing that you created, all around ministry in this particular case, but you're passionate about, all of a sudden becomes a monster that you got to feed. And that it's just, all of a sudden there's a certain level of funds you got to have just to keep the lights on, keep the computers running, pay the administrative people involved, all that kind of stuff. So it can be a consuming thing. It can become overwhelming, and it takes a lot of work and commitment to do it. So it goes back to one of the earlier questions that we talked about, was that, what should you consider to start a nonprofit, what's involved in it. And you really do need to consider what this is going to take to do it well and do it right. Like we said earlier, we don't need more nonprofits, especially we don't need nonprofits that are kind of not really focused on making a difference or changing something, that just kind of feel like they want to be out there to hand out a few more meals, or to give away another bag of groceries or whatever. We have a lot of those groups that are doing that. So it's not necessary to start a nonprofit and create a monster around yet another thing that's already being done. So you got to give a lot of consideration these days to starting something that's going to be a nonprofit structure.